Hey guys, this is my second video. This is kind of continuation, but more like on a personal note rather than factual. So I'm going to kind of delve a little bit deeper into why I chose to do my topic, which is cyberbullying. So like I said before, it relates to the class digital identity, because digital identity obviously is about like kind of exploring like how a person can view themselves online and how that can be good and bad, and how that relates to social media. So yeah, in one of the chapters of this class we learned, Dana Boyd talks about how cyberbullying can create a lot of drama and a lot of issues. So I think that it's really important to talk about, because it can really impact a person's mental health, especially like in this day and age when we're so reliant on social media. This is one of like the big negatives, is that like I think like you're not as in person as you usually are, and so like people find different ways to kind of like create and stir up drama. It can be for different reasons. Sometimes people just get bored. Sometimes people have like a vendetta against another person, unfortunately. I'm gonna adjust my camera a little bit so you can see me better. So like I was saying, yeah, it's a really difficult issue that people face, and I think it's just really important to talk about. Originally our group for this class thought we were doing it together, and that's what we voted on, but I just want to continue it because I think it is something that I am passionate about, and I think it's just so important. But yeah, like I think that we've all gone through our own struggles and issues with other people, and sometimes that can like count as bullying. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, but nonetheless I think it's important to kind of like see how it impacted you and how you reacted and if you grew as a person. And cyberbullying is such a tough one because like you don't really have anybody like to gauge it as easy. It's very different than traditional bullying, and that can mean that like you might be on your own, or that like you might have people to back you up, but like it might be a little bit harder for them to, if that makes sense. So it's hard to tell if cyberbullying will continue. I'd say it probably will if we're going to continue social media, but it's hard to tell. Like if it kind of died out like MySpace, then I guess it wouldn't be an issue. But it comes in so many different forms too, which is what's hard, because it can be on social media, it can also be on other messaging platforms. It's really on anything where someone can get in contact with you, and it's pretty common. Sometimes people take it seriously, sometimes people don't. Like for example, when I was younger, a lot of people would like on Xbox would like either message you or just say something in a voice chat and kind of like say mean things, but like it wouldn't really get to you that often, because like I guess you're just used to it, or no one was doing it directly, it was just kind of accepted. But that doesn't make it okay. Like people will say pretty bad things, and like looking back at it, it's kind of hard to believe that it's just kind of accepted as normal, and it still happens. It's not, I don't think, as common. I'm not really sure. I don't play as much as I did when I was 12, but I know that was a thing, at least in my own personal experience. Like if you like did something to make someone mad, even if it was like minor in a game, people could lash out on you, and it just kind of would cause people to react different ways. And like I think what's important about like what I'm saying is that you really never know how a person's going to react to what you say. So it's like I think it's just important to kind of like take a second thought about what you're about to say to someone. Just kind of like understand like they might not react the way you expect them to, and maybe you should kind of give them some like respect and just hope that like they will act normal, but also not like you never know what you're going to say to someone and how they could react. So it's just important to tread lightly on that kind of thing. And I just think with this class, there's just so much I've learned about myself, like by like going back on social media, because I really hadn't been on social media in a long time until I got on this, and had been using Twitter a little bit more. It's just kind of nice to kind of communicate with people again in a more positive tone. I think that's what makes it so special, but it can definitely have a downside with the negative side. That's why it's so hard. This kind of comes unexpectedly, but I think if like people just kind of like understand that they wouldn't like to be treated like that, that maybe they would not treat other people like that, but that doesn't always seem to happen either. But that's a little bit about like why I chose it. I think that it's just so important that like we as a society like try to come together, and there's just like a lot of individualism right now, and that can be a great thing because it can kind of show like people are wanting to like be the best version of themselves, but it can also kind of tear other people apart because like everybody's kind of trying to climb to the top, and that's not really the end goal. It's kind of to work together to like get to where you need to be. And how that relates to cyberbullying is just like maybe someone's like trying to get something, or they want to like put themselves in a positive light, and in order to do that they might have to bring someone else down, but in the end they could bring themselves down as well. So it's just like kind of like to think more like wisely rather than like short term. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about cyberbullying. It's a really weird thing. It's very different than traditional bullying. It can happen really to anyone out of nowhere. I think context can be a big thing too. Just like you might think you're being bullied when you're not really sure if you are or not, because there's no like tone, or like you just can't really see the person, so you don't know like what their face is like when they're saying these things. You're just getting a flat message, and it's like a lot harder because you got to use context clues, and even then it's still pretty difficult to know if the person is bullying you or not. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still bad, and that like anybody can do it. And some people who might not traditionally bully you in person might do it online because they have like that protection of a screen, like they're a keyboard warrior, but that doesn't make it okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. It is very frustrating, and I hope that it gets better. I know that we've had people try to change it, but I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? These things take time, and I just hope for the best. And I think through classes like this, it has taught me a lot about like how social media can be such a great thing. So that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching my video. I forgot how to click pause. Give me a moment. Oh, there's the pause button. Okay, bye.